You never planned for your Mondays to go like this, but I noticed I couldn't connect to my NAS, and this is kind of like the canary in the coal mine of networking issues. I tried connecting to get my files synchronized between my little on-the-go drive that I use at home and elsewhere and the NAS, and I was having trouble. So I looked down here first of all, and there's nothing alarming there. I can access that switch and everything's happy. But 2 times now in the past month, I've had this issue where in the rack room, I all of a sudden lose complete access to this rack, the main rack that has the NAS and some other servers that I use for other things like NVR and all that. And the culprit, what I've found, and this is the reason why my computer is not getting access over the wired network, because this is where it's plugged in up here, because I only have one 25 gig switch. But the problem is that the power keeps blipping, and it's like a 2 to 5 minute power outage. But apparently this CyberPower says that it has enough battery capacity, but it definitely does not. And I probably either need to replace the batteries or replace the whole thing. I'll have to do some more testing on that, because I only bought it like 2 years ago. So it shouldn't be the batteries, but who knows. But anyway, so the problem is that this rack dies. And what I thought it was because I was putting PoE from this switch into this switch, and it was like booting off PoE and not having enough power, and some ports would die. But you can see that the ports are all lit up right now, but some ports are just not passing traffic. And what I found is if I unplug it and replug it, it will start passing traffic again. But this is the first switch that I bought for this studio when I moved in here. And maybe it's just overheated. I don't know what. It's a passively cooled switch. And I have always had 3 or 4 of these RJ45 adapters that get burning hot inside of it. So maybe this is not the best switch for this scenario or something. Also, this guy gets kind of hot below it, so it heats it up from below. I don't know. The key is that I'm going to have to replace the switch today. I did not plan on doing this, but after the last time it happened, I bought a couple QNAP switches because those are the ones that have all the features that I want in this particular rack. And that's what we're going to do today. I apologize for the sound, first of all. This is printing a duct for my framework. So that's going to be happening in the background. And you can ignore all the boxes in the background here. That's for a future video that we're working on. But today I'm putting in these 2 guys, QNAP switches. These are both half rack switches, and I'm going to put them next to each other. There are other switches that could work here, and Mikrotik actually makes a couple switches that I was considering, but I really wanted to have more 10 gigabit capacity and more SFP plus ports for local devices, and also built-in RJ45, so I wouldn't have to use those transceivers that get really hot. And I wanted more PoE switch capacity, so I also got this switch. And you can kind of pair these up together and have more capacity than before, and 2 managed switches. I kind of wish they made one big switch like this for $1,000 or something, but they don't. And the funny thing is these QNAP switches are actually not as expensive. They've come down in price a little bit, which is surprising. Like everything else in the industry keeps getting more expensive, while these 2 switches somehow have not. But I'm going to put them together with this little kit that you buy separately. And I've never done this before. I actually have over here one of these 2 switches already, and that was part of the reason I bought another one for the rack in the back, because I've been enjoying that switch. It's not too loud, and it works well, and it has not had any issues. But this is what we're going to try to do today. So I'll start off with the main switch. This is all 10 gigabits with, I don't know if there's a 25 gig uplink. I think it's just all 10 gigs. So you got 8 10 gigs SFP plus and 8 10 gig RJ45, and then there's a console and management port. So there you have it. Simple enough. I'm going to put this one on the left, I think, and then the PoE one will be on the right. So there's a size comparison between the 2. And there's the fronts. Let's go grab a screwdriver. Interesting, it uses a different hole pattern. Okay, moment of truth. These just lock in together. Let's see. It goes on there. And that's that. And then I think we just screw 2 screws in the bottom here. Okay, and now we have a 1RU super switch with all the ports that I would like for, this includes 10 gigabit PoE++, 2 ports of that, and then 2.5 gig PoE++. So any of my higher power devices over the years that I add in can go into this switch. I have another PoE Plus switch in the rack already, but that one can't handle some of the newer stuff, and it definitely can't do anything 2.5 gigabits or above. But yeah, let's go stick this in the rack. Alright, just for safety, I'm going to take this guy out of the mix for now. And it looks like I used rack studs in here in the past. I don't know if that's going to support the heavier switch here. No, I might need to unplug everything. Oh, this is going to be annoying. I will bundle up these cables together temporarily. You have served your time. Sorry, Mr. Mikrotik. But today we are switching you out for these two to get some more network capacity. Yeah, I don't trust this on those rack studs, so I'm going to switch those out for cage nuts. And like I said in my previous video, these are amazing, having all this sitting right here so that I can just grab what I need and not have to go digging around elsewhere. And I'll bring my cage nut tool. This is for help installing cage nuts. It has a little hook that you can kind of hook into there. And of course my screwdriver. If I can use rack studs, I do use rack studs because they're awesome. In this case, I just don't trust the weight of those two switches on these guys. Time for the blood sacrifice. Let's see if we can get these in there without too much issue. So the way this tool works is you put this in from behind and then you hook it onto an edge and then you pull it out and pop it in, ideally, but still half the time you drop the cage nut, and that's probably going to happen here. We'll see. There, that one worked. Ah. There we go. I don't know why the DJI autofocus has such an affinity for arm hair. Okay, let's get the new switch in. New switches in, I should say. Okay, I think we're all there. Okay, and you go to this guy and go into number 9. How about? All right, so we got time. That's good. And then we will plug everything in. So I got this guy going into here, but I don't have it going into anything else right now. I should probably get a jumper. Should probably go jumping from main switch to main switch here. So we'll do this. Let's do that. No. Do that. Over to here. And I could just leave it like that. And I could put a longer one and loop it up in here, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. We'll at least do it with this shorter one. Who cares about bend radiuses? It's all for the aesthetic, you know? Okay, now I need to plug these things in. So let's go find plugs. Mr. UPS that's causing me all these issues. I got this Raspberry Pi up here that I have not been using for a long time. I think we're just going to unplug him and say goodbye to this one. I'm sorry, Mr. Pi, but you gotta go. Okay, both of the switches are up and running. They're both working. I heard the NAS start doing things, so I'll check on the computer in a second if that's actually working. But I'm happy with this. And the one thing that I really wish, I wish that they made a model of this. They could even take away a couple of these or something. They could do something, but I would like 2 or 4 25 gig ports, because that would let this pass through 25 gig and get a 25 gig uplink to another switch. That's probably the one big thing that I'm missing on this one. This guy, I have almost nothing going on in it right now. It has an uplink, and then it has this link over here. So at least this switch will pass through even if this switch fails, and vice versa, because they're both connected through the other switches. Switch topology is something that I don't know. That's the first time I've had a switch go bad on me, and it's not like I'm running the stock exchange, so I'm okay with that. But another funny thing I noticed is I've had this guy running down here. All it does is it passes through the signal from my cable modem into my router. So maybe I don't really need this to exist. And there's a little fly. Look at that, there's a little fly stuck up on here. Go away. Anyway, yeah, I just removed a bug from the system. I probably also need to tidy up these pies. One of the goals with this rack is I've been trying to clean up this area, which was my junk shelf basically, so that I get 2U back, and I've already gotten 2U back, and I can probably get 3U, maybe even 4U out of this for future expansion. And one part of that is I'm going to put some pies across here, probably in a lab rack stack or lab stack or whatever that thing is. Put some things across here so that I can tidy it up more and put more services in the rack. And then I might have to replace this cyber power. It just hasn't lived up to my expectations for it. And one test I'm going to do at some point, probably not today because I need to get some work done, but I'm just going to unplug it and see how long it lasts. I'm guessing this is going under a minute. And maybe it's just bad battery cells. I don't know. I might replace those and see how that goes. I think this one you have to unscrew some screws on it, but it has been that year. I've been replacing batteries on all my other UPSs, so maybe this UPS is just wanting to join in the fun. But yeah, UPS is dying, causing weird switch issues. Power issues cause so many issues with everything, and not just with switches, but I've had issues with Raspberry Pis and servers and all that stuff, so there you go. Level 2 Jeff, successful switch. Let's go check on the computer really quick just before we wrap this up to make sure that it's happy now. Okay, we have an IP address again. That's good. Let's see if we can connect to the server. There it is. We're good now. Alright, well, there was an hour out of the day. Unforeseen, but I mean, it had to be done, so it's done. But that's the fun thing about networking. It works until it doesn't. And now this rack is actually a little cleaner. I removed this switch because there was no point in it. And I had, it's just like 4 more connections to get up to these switches, which was silly. So now it's into these. These have fans on them. Fans are good for keeping things cool when you're dealing with 10 gig networking. There you have it. See you later.